because the comics is a completely separate story, because it's its own thing. Um, yeah, that's that's where the game ends. Anyway, so yeah, that's all of the Darkness 2. Um, very, very funny game. But now, speaking of funny games, because that did take a little bit longer than expected, but whatever. Uh, I'm gonna have to close. I'm gonna have to close VTube for a sec. It'll be fine. Yep. Now I get to update and roll for the character that I literally waited for since first Walpurgisnacht. Well, not character, ego gear I was waiting for. Because, like, the second I saw that they were doing that, I knew, okay, they know that Queen of Hatred is going to be very popular. Like, they know. They knew. They knew Queen of Hatred was going to be very popular. But it also depended on who they were giving it to. And that was before we got the idea of who would be getting what in terms of, like, what was relevant to who. Turns out Dawn is best suited for Queen of Hatred, and that makes complete sense. It makes complete thematic sense. While that updates, I have to remember to relaunch VTube. But yeah, I'm probably gonna roll this real quick, and then that'll be end of stream. I say, knowing that I have to go through at least like 200 rolls. I'm expecting that I'm probably gonna have to go through 200 rolls for its spark. Really big day for gacha fans who really enjoy rolling. No, I will save that for a different stream, mostly because I want to do this real quick. Because I'm also gonna want to level. I'm gonna want to level the character. Which means I might need a lot of EXP tickets. And I'm also gonna want to be using Rodian, which means I'm also gonna need to level her too. So that's probably gonna take a little bit of time. Or like just not like a lot of time, just like a little bit of a investment, which means it'll take a bit. But no big deal. What do you mean 400 pulls? My SSR rate was 0.75. What? My poor friend. What the fuck? I got 3 SSRs and 400 pulls. My SSR rate was 0.75 when the SSR rate is normally 3%. How the fuck? How? How do you do that? That's just... That goes beyond, like, bad Look, that's just... No. There was no praying. There was just that's just money. That's money. But that wasn't even him for Wall Park. I don't know if he even saved up for Wall Park. He probably did. No, he plans ahead. He plans ahead. He probably saved up for Wall Park because he's the reason why I even remember to save for Kita-san Black. It's been real good days, real good eating for a lot of for gacha fans pretty recently, or at least especially for like today. It's been a big day. At least for people with very similar mental illnesses to me. Azure Lane gets a nice update tomorrow. See what I mean? And I don't even play Azure Lane. What do you mean it's half a gigabyte? Whatever. But I do know that I had to start it now. I don't even know if Tiff shows up. I do want Tiff to show up, though. I want to know if Tiff shows up. She has to show up. No, she doesn't have to show up, because the others haven't showed up either. She'd just be the announcer. Now that I think about it, I don't know. This is my worst case scenario. Because I love Queen of Hatred. I love Knight of Despair. I love Tiferet. Queen of Hatred also being an announcer is really funny. This is the one Walpurgisnacht where I want everything. Like, has not happened to me before. Where there has been an update that comes out where I legitimately want everything. Which is fun, but also frustrating. Anyway. 나와 시선을 맞출 정도의 위치라 하더라도 그렇군. 당신이라면 이 늦은 시각에도 Hang on. 야밤의 나를 찾는 것은 예의에 어긋난다고 생각하지 않나? It is one stage though. Fuck me. Fine. Anyway. Lobotomy ego in the name of love and hate. Lobotomy ego, the sword sharpened with tears. In the name of love and hate. Still a WAV. Oh, and then there's one for if you want to get the others. Okay. First and second. Oh, so these are just reruns for the other ones. Okay, whatever. This is the only one that matters. Let's go gambling! Because I need a bunch of materials anyway. I hate you. She's fine. Oh, don't worry. I know that I have more than enough save for like to hit the spark. And honestly, considering where my luck kind of was for the Ketis on black, I kind of expect it. Makoto! Even though I already had you. And then Honglu again.
이미 읽어봤으니 설명은 됐다네.
나도 내용은 이미 숙지했으니까 브리핑 해줄 필요 없어.
I hate you so much, Philip. I hate you so much, Philip.
처음으로 숨통이 트였던 순간을 기억하나요? 저는 지금은요.
I still don't know what that one even does. Keep track of 9 more.
이번엔 술록이 가장 먼저 투입되는 건가?
Oh, Arcart.
토끼와 코뿔소에게 빨리
Basically, Nebulizer turned into an ego. Also a good passive heal.
풀이 없을 거라고 전해주실래요?
I'll keep that in mind.
내게 남은 건 너를 처음으로 담당했다는 볼품없는 긍지밖에 없는데 배우 선택받는 건 그쪽이야?
Knight of Despair. Such a perfect fit for Rodian. Now, there's only one more that matters. Hopefully I can at least get it before the spark. Four more. Not gonna lie, little mad. Little mad. Only a little mad. Only a little mad. Okay. I won't spark. Yet. Yep, no, that's nothing.
보시게! 사랑과 평화를 수호한 자들의 이야기가 여기에 적혀있지! 바로 우리 마법 소녀들 같지 않은가? 해결사란 건 이런 거구나.
She sounds really cute too. So, I also did not look at whatever their abilities were. Also, wait, because I also have... Yeah, I did not look at what the abilities were. These are also just unbreakable. This counts as charge. Apply magical girls chant to 1 plus envy residents divided by 2 random other allies. Wait, what? When gained this effect, gain 1 attack power up and damage up. This unit's attack skills that gain or consume charge count gain final power. Wait, this unit's attack skills that gain or consume charge count. Oh, so that's for charge. I hate charge anyway. But then they also deal plus 10% damage. If this unit has Here Comes Magical Girl, apply 2 Magical Girl's chant to envy random allies instead of to random other allies instead max 4. This unit uses plus coins base attack plus 3 for every love associate on self. So this is an effect that comes in if you're already using the skill, if you're already using the ego gear. Gain charge. Gain plus charge minus 1 attack weight max of 5. This unit has Here Comes Magical Girl, gain plus 5, gain plus charge, attack weight instead. So just using it in conjunction with the ego gear negates the minus 1. After attack, consume all charge count on self to heal. To heal allies with least HP percentage by charge count, consume percentage HP. Max 5 allies, max 10. So it would be... So if you have 10 charge count, if you... That's on self by allies after... And that's envy reasoning. Yeah, so then you also just, yeah, it's further synergy with your ego. With the ego gear. If this unit is lobotomy ego in the name of love and hate, gain 1 magical arcana. Base attack skills deal plus stack times 5% damage. With a max of 3. So you can just gain 15% damage at turn end at 3 stack, and with negative 25 or higher SP, change SP to negative 25. That's the cost. Okay. Breakable coin, gain plus 2 charge count. On hit, inflict mark of villainy against enemy target. Take plus 10% damage from Don Quixote. Applies only on the first target that received the effect this each turn. So that's okay. Inflict plus 1 rupture count. So it's still good even without the base ego, but it's better with the base ID naturally. Knight Sanctuary. Your target has 6 plus sinking. Gain plus 1 coin power. Up plus 3 protecting sword. Turn start. Gain defense level up for every stack. Turn start plus stack times 3. Aggro to the leftmost. Wait, you're aggro? Inflict sinking, gain deep tears. Unique charge, max 20. Gain 1 additional deep tears for every 2 protecting swords. Huh? Final power +1. This is under a special condition. You have 2 skill 1s. Lose 7 SP, so that further drags you down. Inflict sinking. With the power of justice. Target's +6 sinking, so this is really good for sinking. Clash power for every 2 protecting swords. You can gain a lot of clash power. A 15 plus deep tears consume 5 to deal additional 15% damage. Inflict sinking count, gain deep tears, gain additional deep tears equal. So she has a, okay. Lose 10 SP. That means she's just gonna constantly be losing SP. Arcana Pierce. Target has 6 sinking, coin power +1, clash power for every protecting sword. Deal +10, consume up to 20 deep tears. Deal stack consume times 1.5 damage. So that means at max stacks it would be 25% damage. Base power 1 for every 5 stack consumed. That's a really big cash out. If the enemy is defeated, regain half of deep tears consumed by the skill. If this unit has tears sharpened or consumed it with this coin, deal 20% damage. Tear and pierce. Final power +1 for every sinking on target. Lose 15 SP. And 10 deep tears consumed with 20. Oh. $60? Why? What? Okay. If the target is defeated, regain half, inflict sinking. The Knight's Faith, Clashable Guard, coin power +1 for every protecting sword, so there has to be something that you do that gains that. Gain shield equal to SP divided by 3 of this. Wait, what? Gain a shield equal to SP divided by 3% of this unit's max health. Gain deep tears 2 times per turn. At less than 3 tears sharpened, lose 15 to gain. Lose 15 SP to gain. Oh, you have a lot of control over your SP. You have a lot of control over, like, manually forcing your SP lower. For every piercing sword. Where do you get a piercing sword? No, that has to be. Okay. Gain deep tears, hit less than 3, lose 15 SP. If this unit is to sharpen, lose to your sharpen stack times 15 SP. Okay. The sword sharpened with tears, alert ego sink threshold exceeded. That's a very interesting note in a passive. Turn start at 0 or higher SP, gain a blessing. So that's her at the start. So at the start, she will get a blessing unless something happens where she gets an increase. Gain 1 protecting sword for every 8 SP, max 5. When clash ends, inflict 2 sinking once per turn. On hit, inflict 2 sinking on the attacker. This was the things that they mentioned about in the patch. For every 20 SP, inflict +1 more sinking potency. For every 20 SP. Inflict +1 more sinking potency with the above effects. Replace this unit's base skill with coins. So it's keeping her from going above. Turn start at less than 0. Gain despair. Use minus coin skills as base skills. turn start, gain 1 piercing sword for every -8 SP. When clash ends, inflict +10 sinking count on a hit with the first coin of base attack skill. Inflict +1 sinking count for every -20 SP. Inflict +1 more sinking. Does she have anything to repair her sinking? Repair her SP aside from just killing them? When gaining charge count, gain deep tears. Instead, deep tears is unaffected by charge potency. Whispers of the Betrayed Knight. This unit SP does not drop below -40 from the following effects. SP loss effects on this unit's base attack skills. So she'll cap out at -40. Just need to repair SP and she has a little negative. Yes and no, I will say. Mostly because, like, cause, like, where is he? Cause, like, Sunshower was the first one to come to mind, even though there's a very easier, more obvious example. But, like, yeah, because Sunshower, again, also uses negative coins, so he wants to stay negative. One Who Shall Grip also has negative coins and wants to stay negative, but the trade-off with those characters being in a negative so much is that if things go wrong, they'll corrode and then their ego goes off. So, like, the trade-off for Heathcliff, at least, is that you're fairly often using... You'd be fairly often using his paralyzed skill, which means that it would be easier for him to win those trades. Like, you kind of want to find a good spot to put him, allow him to take a little bit of damage, which also increases his unsinking, but then paralyze, and then use that to win clashes to get your SP back. Like, he's ideally negative. Yeah, Rodion doesn't go under proactively. That's the big difference between, like, those two. Like, these two, when you're using them too much, they will just go over. But, like, if she just has that innate sustain, that's a very interesting stopgap. SP loss effects from allied units support passives. SP loss effects from tier sharpen. SP loss from allied death and a unit's base factors decreasing sanity. That's really good. In an encounter when this unit takes damage that brings its SP to -45, maintains this unit's SP at -44 for that turn once per encounter. So she does have, like, a stopgap. This applies only to SP damages. It does not apply to SP changes or SP consuming abilities like using ego skills. So basically, if she's in a fight with something sinking and then she gets hit by something that would send her under 45, she gets stopped preeminently at 44. So it's a one-time save from a free corruption. That's really cool. If this unit has piercing sword before hitting an enemy with a base attack skill, consume 1 piercing sword to inflict sinking. It has +2 before there's a final attack. Consume all and inflict count. This unit has 3 tiers before hitting an enemy with the final coin of the base attack skill. So it's just passive increasing sinking damage. You also send her a negative on T1 by pressing defensive. Yes. Yes, because at less than 3 sharpened tiers, lose 15. Yeah, so you get to pick, like, if you want her to be in Blessing or Despair, like, immediately at the start of the fight. That's a very fascinating unit. Magical Girl of Justice, Knight of Despair. When in Blessing state, take -2 SP HP. When in Blessing, take minus HP damage from attacks max of 20. Combat start at +3, gain 1 protection. You just have innate damage reduction. Magical Girl of Justice, Knight of Despair. That's Gloom and Pride. Okay. When in Despair, deal plus SP damage plus negative SP divided by 2% damage with base skills. So you either be an attack dog or not. Bounce between every time you hit 3 Hysteria during positive and using skill 3 during negative. For all those who despair, combat start applies to an ally with the earliest deployment order, so it would be at the start. At -15 or less 8 SP, plus 1 final power to minus glow. At -30 or less SP, plus 15% damage and plus 1 final power to minus coins. They want minus coin skills to be like a legitimately valid like team comp idea. I like that. I really like that. This is a very fascinating design. Well, Dawn just bounces between every time you hit 3 Hysteria. Speaking of Dawn, reducing opponent's negative, good for count. By Manager Esquire's orders, I am here. Consume 5 love and hate count on self to gain coin power +1, so that is also a charge thing. Coin power +1 for every 2 love and hate. Wait, what? Gain +3. That's just on use. Wait, okay, so what that actually means. Consume 5 love and hate count on self to gain coin power +1. So at 5 you get +1. Coin power +1 for every 2 love and hate, max +2. Max 2, meaning if you're at 4 you get a +2, meaning if you're at 5 you get a +3. Gain +3 love hate count. That's on use. On hit, you gain an additional +3, putting you at +5. Then you inflict Rupture, true damage. She also has a... She's also bouncing between those two states. Where are the villains? Deal +5% damage for every Hysteria on self, max of 15. Again, love hate. You lose SP. Inflict sinking. You do wrath. Envy. With love. Yeah. Deal +10% damage for every love and hate on self, max. What? Consume 6 love hate count on self, gain coin power +1, gain +5 love hate count. Inflict Rupture, inflict Mark of Villainy against the main target. You melt whatever is ahead of you. Base power +1 for every Hysteria on self. Max 2. At Hysteria 3, gain +1 attack weight. Deal negative 50% damage against sub-targets. Haha, that's the way that they're carrying over the gimmick. Consume 6, pound same count, lose SP, love and hate. Arcana Beats, Minor Arcana Slave. Deal 30% damage for every max Arcana on sub. You almost just get 2 times damage on this. just from that. What? Wait, huh? Plus 3 love and hate. Deal plus love hate times 20% damage. Max 100%. That's so much damage. That is like a 200% increase almost. Gain our magical arcana. On hit without cracking, inflict rupture. So that's just more damage. Reversed beats, reverse arcana slave. Wait, what was this one? Get out of my head. This skill deals minus 50% damage against sub-targets. Consume all hysteria, clash power +1 for every consume love and hate. Count clash power. Deal 24% damage for every love hate on self. Max 120. This skill only has a single target for focus encounters apart. Deal plus 20 times attack weight minus 1% damage. Max 80%. This unit isn't at negative 45 SP. Turn N. If this unit isn't at negative 45 SP and is less than 0 SP, heal 10 SP. Heal more SP the further this unit. Heal more SP the further this unit's SP value is from 0. 2 SP healed for every missing SP. Max of 50 SP. Meaning she can use this to balance herself out. And then inflict sinking. Rapid chant. Base power +1 for every hysteria. How do you gain hysteria then? In the name of love and hate, alert, ego gear sync threshold exceeded. Yeah, that's appropriate. Gain 1 love hate every time this unit consumes 10 cumulative love hate. Count this encounter. So if you spend it, it still gives you some back. Unit does not have hysteria, gain hysteria, huh? This unit does not have love hate, gain love hate. At turn start at 0, okay, at 0 or higher SP, gain Here Comes Magical Girl and lose Regrets of Transformation reverse. At less than 0 SP, gain Regrets of Transformation reverse. These units' SP cannot drop below 40 due to SP loss. Okay, so same thing as Rodian. Magical Girl, Magical Girl of Love, Queen of Hatred. Deal 2% more damage for every love hate on target. Combat start. Gain magical arcana. She has so much fucking increased damage output on her own. She stacks so much damage. If among allies that gain charge count with their base attack skills, one ally with the least charge count uses a base attack skill that gains charge count, they gain +2 charge count, so passively increase. Increase the charge count gain. At 0 or higher SP, heal charge. That's just heal, and at less than 0 SP, heal SP. That's really nice for Envy support. No, that's really, really cool. Let me check something. I only have one. I can either pick the actual option. I can pick the one that I actually want, or I can pick the reporting option. She has to be weak to something. She's weak to Pierce. No, she is weak to Slash. Damn. Yeah, because she was weak to Slash then. Because I really like Rodian. And I think she's cool. Actually, I could probably just upgrade her and it'd be fine.
나는 맞설 거야. 내게서 추출한 눈물과 별자리를 가지고 네가 나를 선택했건 그렇지 않던 간에 난 관리자님의 명령을 수행해야만 하니까.
Okay, I won't do the mission, but I will at least read these. The child's footsteps alone exuded a crushing sense of melancholy. Every step insidiously seemed to convey these distracting thoughts and palpable dissatisfaction to the very hallways of the welfare team. The sensation becomes even more blatant, more invasive when she passes the once familiar and frequented containment unit. Why wasn't I chosen? Why didn't you choose me? Conveys this resentful heart. Tactless employee. Hey, Miss Rodian, another busy day, huh? Miss Rodian? Huh? Hey, sorry, I was thinking about something. Huh? Are you sure you're okay? I heard you've been pulling a lot of all-nighters lately. I guess I really do look that tired, huh? Yeah, the manager's been assigning me to so many containment units recently. Oh man, maybe you should talk to Mr. Chestshed about this. I mean, it kind of doesn't make sense for them to be so neglectful of a welfare team employee's welfare, right? Even the Sephiroth have to answer to someone, you know. It's entirely up to the manager to decide which abnormality we get to work on. That's true. I've got the opposite problem. I keep getting assigned to the same abnormality over and over again, and it wasn't even interesting. Most of the time, she doesn't say anything, or just whines and moans. So I'm usually the one who has to talk. What one could he be talking about? Most of the time, she doesn't say anything, or just whines and moans. Mid-level... Huh. Whenever she did say something, it just never made any sense, you know? Saying stuff that she used to be a knight. Oh yeah, right. Are you headed to manage 00173 again? No, ever since the abnormality gave me something, I don't know, the manager's not been assigning me any management tasks. I'm not complaining since I've been really tired as of late, but I just hope I'm not getting intentionally excluded from work. You kind of are for a reason. Haha, want to swap schedules with me then? Oh, I can't possibly. You're the team's model employee, Miss Rodian. I couldn't even dream of surviving your pack schedule. I'm just not good enough for that. Oh, sorry, I'd love to sit here and talk, but I really gotta get going now, so... yeah, then go. Good luck with your day too. The child stares blankly in the employee's general direction as he slowly walks away. There's a lot of thematic parallels that they're using really well. Changed captain to model employee 3 days before Wallpark. She wasn't looking at the employee. It's that floating thing above his head. His sigil, a gift from an abnormality. It's the blessing. The blessing of a proud knight, bestowed upon those she promises to protect. The blessing can provide highly effective protection for the employee in battles against abnormalities or ordeals, but those are insignificant details for the child. All that matters is that she wasn't chosen. What's so better about him than her anyway? Would he do better than her to deserve this? Her mind, captured by a sense of inferiority, spirals endlessly with question after question of this nature. So she glares at him like she's trying to bore a hole into him. This child was transferred from a different team to the welfare team when it first opened. The reasoning behind the manager's decision was clear. A new WoW risk level abnormality has appeared, the Night of Despair. To manage 0173, an employee's sufficient competency was needed. And she was indeed quite competent. It has been a while since her employment began, and the sheer fact that she was still alive was proof enough of her value. Very true, that explains because stat requirements. Thus, she became the first employee to manage 0173. There were positives to this decision to pair them together. The abnormality's ego gear was quite good, and it was rather easy abnormality for the child to handle. However, the downside was that the reason this child found it easy to handle this particular reticent humanoid abnormality was that she felt free to share all of her thoughts with it. And that led her to develop this idea that they were kindred souls, that they were friends. Imagine being her, deprived of the blessing, the very token of that friendship. Imagine watching that very token being given to someone else entirely. Maybe she simply spent too much time in that ego gear, enough to have her senses corroded by that cold, depressing sensation. That would have been better than whatever this was. Because the child would never have had to feel the sense of betrayal toward that abnormality. The manager's decision, however, was quite precisely made. The child, who was quite exceptional, did not need the blessing. It was better given to a still fledgling employee to improve his chance of survival early on in his career. Which is why he constantly assigned the child to different abnormalities to prevent her from gaining the blessing. Yes, that's so fascinating to use that as a storytelling element. Because that was the intent of the blessing, to use it to protect ones who could, protect the ones who needed it. The ones who didn't receive the blessings weren't the ones who needed the protection. He knows. He already knows everything there is to know about this abnormality even before he assigns it to a containment unit. Well, let's continue on. That detailing is not of much importance anyway. What matters is that there was no way for the manager to explain this thought process to the child. The other employee, much less competent than the child, ended up a cold, dead corpse in the merciless condition of this company. Been a while. And when the abnormality escaped the hollow pride that she still sought to protect someone broken, it encountered an employee with an icy glare. No, her old friend. You've become so twisted that you can't even return my greeting. More of that boring, old, useless self-loathing over failing to protect that kid, isn't it? That's just what you are. That's just what you are, what you do after all. Yes, because her Clive thought would go down if someone with her blessing died. So why didn't you just choose me? I wouldn't have gone out like that kid did. Not that pointlessly anyway. Fifth most concurrent player? That's nuts. A wailing cry tears across the very space itself, a reply, or an expression of wrath stung by her words. The floating blades soon gather around her. Gonna skewer me with your sharpened swords, huh? Fine. The child raises her own blade in preparation. The same blade as the ones floating above the abnormality. Still, it still hurts me deep inside that you did not choose me. But I realize that I can't mope around forever. I'm busy as hell. Got plenty of employees I've got to protect. A whole bunch of rookies just got hired, you know? The upper layer's doing even worse. Miss Malkuth's finally about to snap from the crushing workload. Apparently, they say that she's been acting stranger and stranger as of late. That means Malkuth is edging to her realization. There is tangible, overarching story progress being made during these. So I've got to get up there and help him out. I don't have any more time to waste messing around with you. The child's biting her lips, determined and assumes a fighting stance. Sure, I don't even have a smidge of pride left, but that doesn't stop the burden on my shoulders from growing, does it? I love Rodian so much. So I'm gonna live up to that responsibility at least. Let's go home. The child will probably survive the suppression effort. She'll succeed at it too. But her suffering will continue, and this sense of gloom will eat her alive. Her unusually high level of attunement with the ego gear makes her stronger, but allows for deeper corrosion. And the longer she wears it, the more resonant the abnormality's voice shall become in her head, torturing her. It is inevitable, even still. She will work herself to the bone and fight on to take responsibility for the tasks that are given to her. Because that, in her mind, is the only way for her to be chosen, if such a thing even happens. Fitting, isn't she? Her distorted thoughts, they fit this cold, cold corporation so well. It's so thematically resonant for her. Absolutely perfect for her. This one I was saving, but circumstances change. Tis day 26. Fuck. Quarter of the way there? What a merry, fantastic day it was once again. They're so cute. For today was the day which I was availed the chance to, with our dearest fellow magical maiden, explore the tales of fixers of the northern regions, whose conveyance of justice was most valiant. Oh, how tedious it must all have been for the maiden to be incarcerated in such a barren, claustrophobic chamber, bereft of even a morsel of stimulation. She who deserved the breath to breathe at the free air, fighting evil by moon. Nay, nay, one must always remain wary of the truth, that is, that she is but an abnormality. Sure, you can't fit in fighting by moonlight. Not to mention that I, as a captain, must set a proper example for the other employees. I must best categorize this under the label of attachment work. But of course, all of mine efforts, preparing various props that align with the abnormality's preferences, conversing for long hours with her, were all but honest toil to prevent abnormality 0104's Clyphot counter from decreasing. It must be emphasized that any suggestions or allegations that I did all this for the sake of mine entertainment, or that I voluntarily stayed past work hours just to obtain her ego gift. She's just bonding with her, legitimately. Are most preposterous accusations, which I do protest with vehemence. Let this record be the witness of mine earnestness. This is quite bizarre, that my handwriting hath become so squiggly and anxious. Therefore I am to proceed. Some deep breaths, deep breaths. Thus I shall heretofore transcribe the lore of this arcana she explained to me. From what I hear, she is one of the veritable magical girls who are destined to battle villains. A great will in need of observers of justice to stand tall before the overwhelming powerful might of villains, be it minor or major arcana, hath chosen them and transformed them into magical girls. Listen, attachment work is very specific. You have to get close to them. They have to like you. It's important. It's necessary. That's why they get the gush over being fixers, and she gets to stay late. As Arcana itself is but a neutral force of magic, it can be possessed and molded by both good and evil. Only those who are free from the corrupting allures of its powers, only those with the steadfast vision of justice, may be hailed magical girls. She claimeth that other senpai, meaning that she is the least experienced or perhaps the youngest of them all, and hath explained that one moment she simply found herself arising in this facility. That is her referring to Greed and the green one that I can't remember because she was added in Ruina. Which means that those other two are still on the table for coming for a future Walpurgisnacht, which means that two more Servant of Wrath. There's Servant of Wrath and yeah, that was her. She was the green one. That one has to go to Ish. Like, come on. As I was the one to enter her chamber in the moment of her awakening, she mistook me to be an agent of the Arcana. She was quite hostile to me then. 'Twas quite troublesome to resolve that misunderstanding. Magical girls, the Arcana, much did she befuddle me with words I found so peculiar and unfamiliar. Until I SP'd a common theme. She won't get Little Red. I want Little Red. I want her to get Little Red, but I also want her to get one of the magical girls. All these stories she shared were none too dissimilar from the tales of fixers of the city. Though following my employment here at Lobotomy Corporation, I was behooved to relinquish this old dream of mine of becoming a fixer. If only I could dream again, by donning the identity of a magical maiden of justice. Ah, what joy that would indeed be. I inquired with haste, prithee, how doth one become subject to this choosing? A great tragedy it was, for she explained that she knew not why she had been chosen, or how one goes about becoming a chosen one. Yet I came to a revelation upon observing the ego gear extracted from her. Were I to be equipped with the staff and outfit, the very essence of love and justice, I may be a magical maiden of justice as well. There are plenty of thoughts in my head right now, and none of them are from the Bible. She could not find it within herself to believe it at first. Outfit is hardly what maketh a magical girl, she vociferated. Yet she soon came to see eye to eye mine most honest-hearted thirst toward justice, this burning righteous wrath against evil. Moreover, when she witnessed my battle against breached abnormalities, when she came out to assist our suppression efforts, verily, 'twas the moment of revelation of her as well that I am forsooth a veritable and excellent magical maiden just as herself. We are now together protectors of justice at this company. Though the Sephra always diminish us, admonishing us as more trouble than help, though other colleagues who have experienced loss at the hands of abnormalities may impart resentful sentiment against us, I know this to be the truth. That true magical girls are stubborn strugglers, survivors, weathering whatever terrible adversity that cometh their way. 'Tis no wild, naive ramblings of a dream-consumed one. In fact, ever since my transfer to the Central Command Team to manage this magical maiden, I have perceived and conducted repeated attachment work on her. So, at this point, the Tiporet and Chesed have their departments open. That have lifted me to the position of a captain. And, as Manager Esquire hath found this development The lowered containment breach rate for the magical mate 00104 most satisfying. Both Tipperet, sir and lady, have both spoken thusly indeed. Both Tipperet are here. Ho? Perplexing. Is that supposed to imply that she used to breach containment? She doesn't know. Yet, in my recollections, I was her one and only manager ever since she was first contained in Central Command. It's pulling back the layers of the first game. Yet, I have no memory of her breaching containment. Well, nothing to concern myself with. Truthfully, I'm quite bubbling with excitement for what tomorrow holds. And it shan't be peace that awaits me. Nay, it shan't be. For that is a detriment to the worth of mine existence. Is it? How strange. 'Tis almost as if her sentiments are rubbing off on me. Verily, the existence of peace hath no business with my usefulness. This must be fatigue speaking. Ah, I must also visit the welfare team, for it hath opened anew today. Okay, so only the central and welfare team open, so there is no security department yet. In today's management session, she claimed that there was a strange stir in the air. Perchance, one of her elusive senpai hath arrived here as an abnormality. I must go meet the employee responsible for her management post-haste. Well, with jolly anticipation for what tomorrow holds. Thus doth my daily journaling come to an end. That's so cool. Like, that's legitimately super cool.
당신이라면 이 늦은 시각에도 응당 모시는 것이 예의에 맞을 것이다. 결례를 사과하지.
250,000 players. That just came in. They just sent that out. 250,000 people are playing Limbus Company right now. Like, I knew. Like, Queen of Hatred was like very obviously like the cutesy server isn't dead. That is a very important note. Queen of Hatred is like very obviously like the cutesy kind of like, oh well, yeah, of course people are gonna pay attention whenever she's in the game. 250,000 concurrent for the drop immediately after the patch went out is insane. Now, I get to do the fun thing. Because I don't have an extraction ticket, so we're doing desperation rolls. One, I want the announcer. One, I want both announcers. I know I'm not gonna get both. I would really, 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 really like a Queen of Hatred announcer. But that's what I was aiming for. This is why you do desperation rolls. I have now... Today alone, I have gotten Kira-san Black on desperation rolls, and I got the Ego on desperation rolls. All of them are in the pool. So there's like no way I can ideally... There's no way I can specifically roll for her. There's no way I can specifically roll for her, but I want her. I want her so bad. I want her so bad. You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. Why do cute girls covered in blood have to be so hot? This is worth it. Oh, right. Because I wanted this.
역시 네놈 말대로 어떤 사람이라든 맞출 수 있는.
Less for optimization, more for thematic resonance. Well, technically it makes my burn team better, but whatever. I win again. I win again. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. I got so many for Honglu. I already saved up so much for you, my guy. Why? Why do you need more? Why do you need more attention? You needy bastard. I was gonna save this, but no. Okay. Fuck. Because now Faust is halfway there. I don't care about Sinclair. Sorry, Sinclair. You're not a cute girl covered in blood, so you're not gonna get the preferential treatment here. So then I just threat spin you. I really just need 4. If that's your prerogative, you can have them. I like pretty girls. I like pretty girls covered in blood. That's my fault. That's why I horny rolled for the for Sanguine Desire. Because who else is going to justify uptying this to 4? She's so built for Envy. Do I squeeze in 1? Do I squeeze in 1? I want to squeeze in 1 because, like, I got it. Because it's like, fuck.
그러든가.
You know what? Yeah, no. I'll do 1 really quick. Really quick. Really quick. So quick that I'm gonna skip the story because otherwise I would read it. I genuinely would read it.
복지팀이 준비되었습니다.
자, 해골 바가지랑 거미 대가리.
Who else has LabCorp egos?
관리인가 아니면 애도인가?
준비는 항상 되어 있습니다.
Not going for ideal, just going for...
탄피가 떨어질
Just going for funny LabCorp. Because I want to do it once. I want to do it once to see. I will read this later. Because this stream's already going on a little bit longer than expected.
아, 저건 좀 복잡하네. 솔직하게 말할게. 나한테는 좀 어려워. 이건 너희가 해결 못해도 이해할게.
Why did she start with 2 Arcana? Whatever.
대가리 딱 떼고.
아르카나 빛!
Do it again, because why not?
아르카나 빛!
Inflicting her with sinking probably isn't the smartest idea, but... Love you, Isan. That dropped her immediately. Read later, read later, read later.
사랑과 정의의 이름으로 지금 이곳에 등장!
She's here as a full assist unit. Magical girl.
쓸데없이 흥분한 걸 수도 있지. 뭐 나쁜 건 아니기도 하고.
지금은 기분이 좀 그런데.
You have to deal with the fucking swords. Whatever, we'll make do. Probably W Don. Yeah, because that's just a chart.
제압 효과가 굉장히 좋았어. 기록적인 피해량인 것 같다.
Yeah, because she's also a charge unit, so like, yeah.
사랑으로 정의의 이름으로.
Oh no. How she didn't get staggered is insane.
아까 어떤 직원이 제압 개체에 한 번에 입힌 피해량을 잠깐! 진짜? 왜 부서팀장을 안 달아줬지?
Envy and Gloom. This sucks. One's going after Rodian. There's two going after Faust. I need to protect her. Everyone's gonna be struggling against that.
나아가주게.
She's charging. Also just made me realize that, Ryoshu's gonna count as a charge unit for this. Or at least the, Red Eyes variant.
여행에는 목적이 있었지.
Knight is marked as a villain.
신경 써준다면
We just have to
도와줄 수 있을
survive.
거야.
We have to protect her. Otis can take the hit, that's fine.
대가리 딱 떼고 지키겠다 맹세했는데. 내 죄는 네가 알아서 처리해.
Come on, you can take it.
우리 앞을 막는 스무스러운 존재들에게 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을! 뭐야 이 수치는. 아까 어떤 직원이 제압 배치에 한 번에 입힌 피해량이. 잠깐! 진짜?
She has to survive one more.
안 달아줬지?
나아가주게.
정보다도 큰 자, 사랑보다 붉은 자니 운명 속에 파묻힌 그대 이름을 걸고 여기서 비찬 삶, 우리 앞을 막는 스무스러운 존재들에게 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을! 아르카나 스웨이버!
Funny that they used the background from Runia.
어렵지 않지? 이미 관찰 기록에 있는 유형대로만 공격하면 되잖아. 관찰 기록을 잘 읽은 것 같네. 훌륭했어. 야! 아르카나 세이버!
Oh no. I wasn't keeping track. Another sword.
뭐야 이 수치는. 아까 어떤 직원이 제압 배치에 한 번에 입힌 피해량이야. 잠깐!
Oh no, she's manic.
왜 부서 팀장을 안 달아줬지?
But that also means... I really like her.
아르카나 필트.
Like, I always really liked the minus coin idea. And I really like that they're really leaning into them a lot more.
무슨 일 있었던 겐가? 하나라도 썼나? 오전에 징계팀에서 클리포트 간섭 역장이라는 걸 연구했다고 했어. 그게 저런 효과던가? 아무튼 확실히 제압하긴 편해졌네.
One more for the road.
이 정도쯤이야? 정보다도 큰 자, 사랑보다 붉은 자, 운명 속에 감춘 그대 이름을 걸고 여기서 비찬 삶, 우리 앞을 막는 증오스러운 존재들에게 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을! 아르카나 스레이버!
Killing blow. $208.
이제야 회사가 정상으로 돌아갔네.
That's a really cool fight.
너희들도 고생 많았어. 티피리트, 너도. 언젠가 우리도 모든 게 끝날 때가 오면 좋겠네. 그때가 되면 휴식을 기다리며 고향의 노래를 부르고 있겠지.
They didn't need to say that. They didn't need to add in that part. Aww. Her art's so cute.
승리의 보람과 세상의 아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는가? 없어도 전혀 상관없다네. 지금 우리가 보는 경치가
992 damage.
그런 것일 테니.
The fact that it's making me scroll down to get them again sucks. I did clear without anybody dying. That's insane. I was certain like somebody was gonna bite the dust. Either way, yeah, that's the fight. I'm not gonna do more.
나를 찾는 것은 예의에 어긋난다고
I will be
생각한다.
obnoxious.
해결사? 그런 건 없어. 하얀 달의 기사가 말했던
나의 목숨을 바치는 한이 있더라도 이곳의 직원들과 도시의 사람들을 지켜내고야 말겠네. 자, 아르카나 비트!
She's so cute.
너무 당연한 일이라 생각했. 그래. 결국 그 아이가 죽었어. 네 탓은 아닐 거야.
I love my beautiful
넌
tragic
모든 사람을
night.
끌어안고 그렇게 울부짖.
Either way, yeah, that's the thing for now. That's what
원래 너를 관리하던 건 나였으니까. 이젠
actually I could probably finish leveling Rodian. So yeah, I'll probably plan for doing Mirror Dungeon so that I can also mess with them a little bit more. But yeah. Didn't expect to get that all on stream.
요즘 우울해 보인다고?
But now I hopelessly roll for announcers. because the moral of today's lesson is to never stop gambling. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, noon, or night, no matter when you're watching this.
아니면
2단계 경보가 울린다는 건 그대가 출동해서 정의의 심판을 내릴 시간이라는 것이겠군. 자, 나도 그대가 선물한 이 머리핀과 에고 장비로 직접 이 혼돈을 정리하겠네.
자네.